From antivirus software provider McAfee, Global Cost of Cybercrime report. The cybercrime costs the South African economy plus minus 5.8 billion rand a year. In light of Safer Internet Day celebrated on the 9th of February, consumers are urged to practice safer internet habits in order to avoid falling victims to cyber attacks that could lead to great financial losses and, of course, emotional stress. Joining me now in studio is Candice Sutherland, who is Cyber Liability Specialist at Stalker Hutchinson Admiral. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Let's start off by just explaining what cybercrime actually means. What does it entail? Where exactly do we go?
Sure. So the definition of cybercrime is any unauthorized access to, interference with, fraud or forgery of any data. And as long as that forgery happens on a computer or a network, that is considered cybercrime. In terms of South Africa, we think cybercrime is not an issue here because it's not something you hear about. But Norton ranked us third in the world in terms of cybercrime attacks and malware capitals of the entire world. And according to that report as well, one South African is a victim of cybercrime every 14 seconds, which is a crazy stat and something that people are not aware of.
How much does it cost the economy? I mean, we say 5.8 billion rand. I think that's just South Africa. In terms, however, of the global cost, that must be even bigger.
It's unquantifiable, actually, because a lot of people don't report it or they don't think it is considered cybercrime. If your wallet is stolen and 50 rand is spent before you manage to stop your card, nobody really reports that. So the amount really is not quantifiable at all.
But things then like the Internet of Things, more connectivity to certain devices, whether it be your TV, fridge, or whatever the case is, certainly the risk of cybercrime then surely increases.
Absolutely. It's now being called the Internet of Everything because you can connect your dog collar, your toothbrush, your fridge. You can connect anything to the Internet. And if something is connected to the Internet, it can be intercepted. And what we have seen reports coming out from overseas is that with the Internet of Everything, if you have a pacemaker that is then connected to the Internet and somebody intercepts that to cause physical injury or damage, we're talking about murder here. You know, you can intercept somebody's vehicle and cause them to have an accident and cause their death just because it's connected to the Internet.
Gee whiz, I think that one scared me just a little bit more. But has it become priority, though, for companies to look at, for perhaps even insurance companies to look at and say to themselves, well, you know, with such a connected environment we live in, maybe such a thing should actually become part of our insurance policies?
It definitely should, and SHA has a cyber insurance policy. Looking back to what POPI will bring in, POPI is the Protection of Personal Information Act, that says that by law you have to protect your client's information, then a cyber policy is the only way that you can actually do business going forward. But with, you know, a regulator having not been appointed yet, people are dragging their feet. But we are seeing a definite increase of at least interest on finding out about cybercrime.
Very quickly, your advice to anybody with regards to cybercrime?
Perfect. If you are using an ATM, rather use one in a bank than using one at a garage, for example. Okay. Don't ever use public Wi-Fi to access your personal information, like doing your banking or even your emails. Be careful with your passwords. Don't write it down in a laptop and write it in a post-it or save it on your cell phone. And just understand that if something's for free, you get what you pay for.
Candice Sutherland, some worthy advice there, Cyber Liability Specialist at Stalker Hutchinson Admiral, talking about cybercrime. Well, as demand rises for